This guy's called the Standing Streamer. Real stand-up kind of guy.
Avery Bryan saying from Wrestling with Regret, you're watching Putting You Over.
Boop. All right. Welcome to Putting You Over. Oh, here we go. Oh, excellent. We can talk.
Oh.
Hello. All right. Let's go over here. And of course, I got to go hit a button. Talk to Vanessa. Vanessa, hold the fort down.
Hi, how you doing this evening?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So we're just getting set. We're just flipping our screen over so that he makes a nice little graphic for you and everything with your Twitter handle, just so everyone knows who you are. So we're just setting that up right now.
Okay, cool.
Oh, now we're having some issues. Are you getting ready? You have any shows coming up?
I have a show this coming week, actually. Not this weekend, but on Tuesday, we're having a small show at Booker's in Houston.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You got a title match?
I'm honestly not sure who I'm even wrestling yet. So I really don't know. They always put that to the last minute. I'm like, okay.
Then you can't prepare.
Right? But I'm always prepared. So
Oh, well, you know what? That's the answer right there. There's the answer.
And how are you guys? How are you?
Oh, we're good, just trying to work through the world we live in. Yeah, I think we lost. What did you do to the stream?
Oh, nothing.
Okay.
We're still here.
Okay. Okay. Well, your kids are old enough. You should train one of them. There we go. Oh, goodness. He's always got to tinker with the settings. In the chat, we have the height of professionalism. We claim ourselves on professionalism.
Is it live? Like, is this?
Yeah, we are. We're live on Twitch right now.
Cool.
We're just waiting for a setting to come on so we can see you on there.
Oh, okay.
So they can hear you right now. They just can't see you.
Well, hi everyone.
So here, let's just do quick. So for the people in the chat who may not know who you are, and you are young and coming up, so let's just give them who is Rok-C and like what's her character.
Well, my name is Rok-C. I am a 19-year-old professional wrestler. I used to be known as the 17-year-old sensation, but I kind of evolved into the Prodigy. So basically, I'm just, a prodigy. I started really, really young. So I started training when I was like 13. Had my first match at 14, and I started wrestling for Booker T's Reality of Wrestling when I was 17. So that's kind of how I like evolved into what I am now, the Prodigy.
Nice. So you started at 13. How did that come about?
So I had been a fan and knew I wanted to be a wrestler since I was like 10. So just everything I did cheerleading, I did tumbling classes, and that was kind of to help me for when I did end up start my training. So there's a local professional wrestling alliance here in where I'm from, Laredo, and my mom messaged them. She actually messaged them when I was like 11 because I would not stop bugging her about I want to start training already, and she was like, oh my gosh. So she messaged them when I was like 11, and they were like, no, she's like way too young, but get her into tumbling, that may help her. So that's exactly what I did. And then when I was 13, she asked again, and they were like, okay, bring her in. So she brought me in, and since I was really, really young, they just wanted to see if I was like capable or if I was even serious about it. But I was. So the tumbling actually really helped me a lot because so much of wrestling when you start is like rolls and all of that. So I picked up everything really, really quick just because I did start tumbling. So yeah.
Whew.
No, that's awesome. And then so you said your mom signed you up, so like they've been behind you this whole time and everything's been good?
Yeah, my mom and my dad, they've always been so supportive, which is like I'm so grateful for that.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
that's sweet.
well done, Vanessa. Ooh, I'm sweating down here now. How you doing, Rok-C? Oh man, I tell you, I've said this to Vanessa 1,000 times. One of these days we'll have a perfect show, but there's always something that goes wrong. I checked everything, but for some reason, the feed that I have from the Zoom that runs into, it's a lot of technical mumbo jumbo. Basically, we just couldn't see you, and that's a problem because we're live. People want to see you, they want to hear you, and but it's working now. I almost had to go rogue and go without it, but it's working now.
Awesome.
Yeah, so thank you for bearing with us.
Of course.
You were telling Vanessa and the rest of the chat, 13 years old, was wrestling. Like what at 13 years old in wrestling brought you in? Like attracted you? Was it big in your house? Were people watching it? What was that thing that caught your eye and made you say, "This is what I want to do"?
So my mom and my dad used to watch it when they were younger, but they kind of like just grew away from that. But my uncle, he is like an avid wrestling fan, and he's always been a wrestling fan. So he didn't really like push it onto me. I don't know if it was just like he just assumed I wouldn't like it because I was a girl or something, but
Right.
he never really like pushed it onto me. I just started watching it on my own. So I was actually a fan of The Rock because of his movies before I
Okay.
started wrestling.
Interesting.
Yeah, and yeah, he was like my favorite actor. And then he was on WWE at a point, and like my dad was just flipping through the channels, and I was like, wait, that's The Rock, like stop. And he was doing like this whole segment, and I stayed watching that, and then I stayed watching the rest of Monday Night Raw, and I was just so hooked. And one person that really caught my eye was AJ Lee. She's retired now, but she was just, because I was a fan of Kelly Kelly, but like I was a big tomboy when I was younger, so I couldn't really like connect to her. And then I saw AJ, and you know, she was this super like tomboy. She would wear her Converse, and she was talking about video games and all of that, and I was like, oh my gosh, like if she can do it, well, I can clearly do it. So I was obsessed after that.
What was your favorite Rock movie?
I really like The Game Plan.
Oh yeah, that is a good one. That's where he's I think he plays football, and is that the one where he plays football and the daughter is in it?
Yeah,
little girl. Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah.
For some reason, I think I watched that one with my kids. You're one of 3 daughters. Am I correct? There's 3 ladies. You have 2 sisters or 3 sisters?
I have 3 sisters.
3 sisters.
Yes.
Okay. I have 3 daughters upstairs. Is it going to get extremely insane in this house in a few years?
It already is. And it's so funny because it's all girls in my house.
Oh,
so
boy.
my dad is like
Wow. That is
so it helped that I was like a big wrestling fan, because he was like, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I just wondering. All right. So you're at a young age, 13 years old, like you said. You talked about Booker's school, you know, and everything he's got down there with reality wrestling. 16, I believe, you start getting more into training. What's it like to be trained under somebody of the stature of Booker T and Sharmell down there? What's the biggest thing you've taken away and that you still take away every day?
It's honestly like still pretty surreal to me, just because I was a big fan of Booker.
Mm-hmm.
I still am. So like I have my moments where I'm like, he's like talking to me, and I'm just like, wait. Like, this is Booker T.
Yeah.
But they're so awesome. I think the biggest thing that I like am so grateful for training at Reality Wrestling is the fact that Booker and Sharmell are like parents.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I really needed that, especially since I started training there when I was 16. So I was still young. I'm not from Houston, so I was jumping on Greyhounds and going over there by myself. So having them, like Sharmell, as like she's like a huge mom. Like, she's such a mom. So having them, it really helped me, not just like in wrestling training, but just like life in general. You know, like Sharmell was always there to help me and guide me, and especially all of the people at Reality Wrestling, like all of the Reality Wrestling stars. You have like Hyon and Gino and Mysterious Q, and they were always like just like a family to me. You know, they were always like there making sure I was okay. So yeah, the atmosphere at Reality Wrestling is just great.
Yeah. You I've never trained or gone to a wrestling school at all, and I know you get in the ring, you learn how to take your bumps and all that, you learn psychology. Do you go back and watch any older wrestling to pick up on psychology or storytelling or anything? Do you go back in the archives, I guess, as they would say?
Yeah, for sure. I'm like always on YouTube, and I'm always looking at all different types of wrestling, especially like how you were saying, like old school wrestling. because of course like I love the modern wrestling, but I love watching like the slow paced like storytelling. I love that. That's my favorite type of wrestling. So yeah, definitely.
Um, we talked about how you obviously, I mean, you're still young. Like you got in young, but you're young. I think you just turned 19. You're the
Yeah.
Prodigy. Um, you started training 16, young at 13. You do all that traveling. You're on the Greyhounds. Do you feel like you missed out in any like? I'm 16 years old. My 16-year-old life is probably much different than yours. Do you feel like you've missed out in any of your childhood growing up?
To a certain extent, I guess so, but my mom was always really big on um like not missing out on like my childhood stuff. So but it was hard just because I was like, but I want to be doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Like for like Christmas break and spring break, instead of like going out with my friends and partying, I was getting on a Greyhound and going to Booker's. But it's not like it was like dreadful for me because I enjoy doing it so much. And I remember I was having a conversation with someone at a point, and I was like, I was just saying how like my mom, she's always telling me how she doesn't want me to miss out on like my childhood and whatever. And they told me, well yes and no, because you're making your own memories even if they're like different from like other people's. And I really like I always keep that with me just because it's true. Like
Mm-hmm.
I love wrestling, so it's not like in a few years I'm gonna look back and be like, oh my gosh, like why
Yeah.
did I do that? I look back and be like, wow, like I was going out there and like fighting for my dream.
Right.
So, and I was having fun while doing it. So
You have a vision and you have dreams and you're you're set on those goals. You're chasing it. You're doing it. So don't look back. You know what I mean? Um,
yeah.
uh, you were in Thunder Rosa's Mission Pro Wrestling. Am I right in
Yes.
that? Yeah. Um, what resonated most with you in that promotion, that show, being all female, from the workers to the refs to the announcers, the camera people. What was it like to be involved with that?
That was so amazing, especially with everything that was happening beforehand. We had like the whole speaking out
Yeah.
movement, which was really like really heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And I just remember being really really young and starting off in the wrestling business. And one of my trainers, when I first started, I think I was like 14, and he was like, if anybody tries anything with you, or if anybody like does anything, like you better come and tell me, because the wrestling business can be scary.
Yeah.
And I remember like hearing that and just being like, what? And then like as time went on, I was like, oh wow, like like I was really young, just in these locker rooms with, obviously wrestling is a male dominated sport.
Yeah.
So yeah, just being like at Mission Pro with like all of these like what like women everywhere, like how you said, it was like commentators to the ref to everything. It was just great. It was just such a great atmosphere, especially just because like I feel like when it's all women, like we're just, I don't know, it's like more comfortable. We're, I don't know, it's just, it was great. It was
Yeah.
great. I think having more women shows like that is so important.
Yep. They just finished, forget the name of that pay-per-view. The tournament. They just finished the tournament. And now they
Yes.
have Run It Back coming up here in December. So
Yes.
good stuff out of that. Good stuff. You mentioned male dominated sport, which we know wrestling is. I'm a big fan of women wrestling. But intergender wrestling. Now you've been in intergender matches, I
Yes.
believe. What's your view on that? Obviously you are for it, I guess, since you're in one. But
Yeah.
what's the experience like? You like intergender wrestling? Is it fun?
I
guess?
do. Yeah, I do. I think like that is important too, like having intergender, just
Yeah.
because like China was doing it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I feel like people see it and they're just like, well, that's just not realistic, and I'm like, well, it kind of is. It kind of is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love intergender wrestling. If I'm offered like an intergender match, like I'll take it.
Nice.
I won't like be like no.
When I was researching you, I during this pandemic time, which I guess is still going on. I guess you can look at it one way or another. But you did a show at a drive-in theater or
Yes.
like a movie drive-in. I'm interested. What was the atmosphere like? What was different compared to regular show? How does the setup look? What being in the ring? People are in their cars. Are they honking their horns? Are they flashing their lights
Yeah.
in their favorite move?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty cool, honestly. It was different and it was very creative. But I was excited for it just because like you have
Yeah.
like the drive-in movies. So I thought that was so cool to have a drive-in wrestling show. And it was we always have like obviously the ring inside at Booker,
Yeah.
so we took it out to like the parking lot. We set it up in the parking lot in front of the World Gym Arena. And basically like the cars are like parked around the ring. And people are either like in their cars or they're in like they have like their trunks open and they're
Yeah.
sitting there. And yeah, like they're like honking their horns and stuff. Like it's super cool.
Do you know how when you go to the drive-ins to see a movie, or at least when we used to, and they'd have the speaker boxes so you could hear the movie and you put it to your car, or you could tune in on the radio. I guess I'm old. I guess I'm dating myself if if you're putting the speaker boxes there. But I'm wondering if they mic'd up the event and had it on the speaker box. But I guess they don't.
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
Yeah. I guess.
Yeah, so Booker and Brad Gilmore, which is our other commentator,
Yeah.
they're in like a bus on the side of the ring, like outside of the guardrail,
Okay.
and they're commentating, and so you can tune in on the radio
Nice.
while like you're watching.
Yeah.
So
See,
yeah,
that's what I want. Yeah. I like that. I think that'd be cool. I think it'd be fun to go watch a wrestling event at like a drive-in. You could have the
right.
audio.
I was like a part of it, but I thought I like was thinking about it and I was like, wow, like I wish I was like actually going to these shows, like just like watching. I feel like that's so cool.
Yeah, it's things are getting unique and stuff. So have you been staying sane during this? I mean, we're up, people are going back to doing things, and then people are getting shut down. Like how during that first 8 months in the pandemic, did you learn any new talents you can use in the ring or out of the ring?
I don't know. I was just like studying a lot of tape and like trying to stay motivated to work out in my backyard. It was hard,
Yeah.
honestly. It was really hard. Just because like I was just so used to traveling and wrestling every weekend, and then all of a sudden it was just like we're just gonna take that away from you.
It's gone. Stay home.
Yeah, so it was really weird and it was hard because as much as like wrestling is like I love it and stuff, it's like an outlet for me too.
Yeah.
So the fact that I didn't have that, it was so hard. So I was trying. Luckily I live with like my family.
Yeah.
And I have like I said 3 sisters, so they kept me sane.
Wow, the 3 ladies in this house do not keep me sane, but we're good. But they're young. They're supposed to drive me nuts, I guess. That's what people keep telling me. So,
Yeah.
anyways, you talked about AJ Lee. She was definitely one that you looked up to when you were getting started. Is there an interesting story with your mom, a picture, AJ Lee, Halloween, I think?
Yes.
There is.
I dressed up as her like 3 times when I was younger. It was yeah. I dressed up as her once in like it was like her black gear.
Mhm.
Then one year I dressed up in her pink gear, and then one year I dressed up as like AJ Lee Raw general manager.
There you go. A little different.
Yeah, like I literally bought like my mom bought me a little pantsuit because I was like 11, and we just put like GM here, and I had like my Converse on. So
Yeah. That's funny. Um, you were also on Total Divas.
I was.
You were
I
on Total
was.
Divas. We have a star from Total Divas on, Vanessa. I told you we'd get one.
You know?
But yeah, so you were on Total Divas. I think Vanessa's gonna like this story.
Yes. So, when I was like younger, my mom, whenever we couldn't really like afford to go to the wrestling shows, she would take me to the arena like early, and
Yeah.
you know they had like a couple of fans there that would like wait outside the guardrail for like the wrestlers to come and like sign pictures and stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, she took me there. I was there with my two I don't think my youngest sister was born yet, but my 2 other sisters were there too. And yeah, they like just the whole crew came with like all their stuff, and they were like, "Hey, do you guys want to be in Total Divas?" And we were like, "Yeah." So we like sorry about my dogs.
That's all right.
We like signed something, and then like it was Bree, Nikki, and Natalia that came over, and I was like so starstruck. I was so excited, and I just asked them. I was like, I'm wanting to train to be. I was like, I think I was like 12 maybe. And I was like, I'm gonna start training. Do you guys have any advice for me? And they gave me a bunch of advice, and yeah, they actually like recorded that and they put it on Total Divas. So that was pretty cool.
Total Divas, yeah. Vanessa is a huge Natty fan, so I knew that she was gonna like that.
Yeah, there's like a screenshot where like I'm talking to Natty, and like the caption says, I'm like dead set on being a diva.
Dead set. Um, One word responses. I'm gonna throw some names at you, and you just give me first word that comes to your mind, your head when I say them. It'd be fun. Sharmell.
Mom.
Booker T.
Awesome.
Thunder Rosa.
Talented.
Rachel Rose.
Queen.
AJ Lee. Last one.
Idol.
Oh, I got one more. Mercedes Martinez.
Amazing. Amazing.
Excellent. Well done. You're friends with Rachel Rose, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
Her
we-
moniker is Queen of House Rose, so that's like the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah. Yeah. We had her on here. She was great too.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's awesome.
Yeah. Well, when I was over trying to do the technical work, because we're so professional here, I heard Vanessa ask you what you got coming up, what shows you're gonna be at, or anything you got going on. We've got your links in the chat, especially your pro wrestling tees. I know there's a big Black Friday sale coming up.
Yes.
Either now,
Just
it might be
opened up
now.
my Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was super excited for that.
Yeah. So, what do you have coming up? Any events?
Yeah, so I was actually telling her that this Tuesday
Okay.
I have at Booker T's we're having a small limited show in Houston. So we have that. I know Hyon, she hasn't she moved to Chicago, so she hasn't been at the shows in a while, so she's back. Also Stephen Wolf is going to be at that show from Evolve. What else do I have coming up? I know I have Sabotage next month. That is December 11th, I believe. And then December 12th is another reality wrestling show.
Nice. Awesome. So you'll be busy in the month of December coming up. But that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, what I like to do at the end of every show is you can have the floor now. You can put over anything you want. You can say anything you want about anything. You can bury me for not being prepared and ready. But the floor is yours. I will not interrupt.
I will not. You want to hear about professionalism?
Yeah.
I forgot my gear at my last show.
Oh, I have another good story too that you brought that up. Go ahead. You left your gear.
Yes. So I was leaving my house and I had washed my gear like the day before, so I had it air drying. So I grabbed it. I grabbed my stuff and I was about to walk out and I was like, oh, my keys. So I put my gear down and I start looking for my keys. I find my keys. I leave. And I grabbed my suitcase once I got to the arena, and this was in San Antonio. So it's like 2.5 hours from where I live. So I get my suitcase and I'm about to change. And I was like, wait, I did not put my gear in my suitcase. And I was like, did I put it in my car? So I go to my car and it was not there. So luckily it was an all women's show. And I go to the back and I was like, I forgot my gear, and everybody was like, don't worry. Like everybody took out all like this stuff and just pieced me together something. So yeah, but I was like, Jesus, how?
Yeah. So it happens to the best of us. But when you said that, the story that I thought of and I had written down, but I must have disappeared on my notes. You shut the lights off to an entire wrestling event at a Lucha show, right? How does that even happen?
Yeah. So I was at a wrestling event with my friend Gino, and we were watching. So I wasn't a part of it. But there was like I don't know if we were waiting for someone, if there wasn't enough seats, but we were standing by like the wall, and this luchador comes out and he's making his entrance. As he's making his entrance, like I like lean back and then all the lights turn off, and I was like, I turned to him and I was like, what happened to the lights? And then like I turn around and I was like, oh, that was me. And I turned him back on and I was just like, oh my God. And the dude like in the ring was just like so confused. I was like, that was no, I don't know who did that.
They thought the Undertaker was showing up.
I was like, what is happening? It was me.
Oh man. Yeah, that was anyways, the floor is yours. Now you can put over anything you want and say anything.
Okay.
You plug your social if you want. The floor is yours.
Okay, well, you can find me on Twitter at the Rok-C _. That's ROKC. My Instagram is _Rok-C. My Facebook is just Rok-C. And I just opened my pro wrestling tee store, as he was saying. So I have 2 brand new shirts designs, which are really, really cool to me. At least. But yeah, and they're like he said, they're having a sale right now for Black Friday, so go buy your merch. The holidays are coming up.
Yeah. ProWrestlingTees.com/the real Rok-C, ROKC. And my favorite, I was on there before the show. Oh, we lost her. Nope, she's back. Kidding. Now I'll let you. Hold on, I'll let you go. The shirt I liked the best, it was white with the black silhouette that says the Prodigy. So that's the one I'm buying for Christmas.
Yes, I love that one. That one's pretty cool.
Excellent. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your patience, and we look forward to big things from you. And we'll talk to you soon.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, anytime. Have a great night.
You too. Bye.
Bye.